guys, welcome to Spintown. I'm here for another map maker interview, and today I am interviewing another map dev. His name is Ollie. How you doing, Ollie?
Hi, I'm good.
All right, now we're going to be playing two of your levels at least today. We're going to start off with SuperPRISM, which you've automatically made it rotate to because I'm a fan of SuperPRISM. It's one of my favorite, like, one hit, one kill levels. And then we're going to rotate to Dust. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now, how did you? We'll start off with like, how did you get to this position? So, like, how did you find the Overcast Network?
Um, I think it was in the Littlewood. Yeah, it was in the Littlewood, and I saw one of his videos come up on my subscriber feed, and I don't know what went through my mind, but I just thought I might as well join, and then yeah, that was about it.
Man, it seems like a
Um,
lot of people that I've interviewed and talked to have found the place just through like bigger YouTubers. It's a shame we don't have a ton of big YouTubers playing here anymore.
yeah, I think it would be good to get some more because then you have a lot more people coming in here and bigger servers and yeah, but I'm sure there'll be one coming along. I don't know when, but there might be.
Well, I might be able to get Zach to play here a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, that's how I originally found this place was one of the bigger YouTubers playing it and showing me around. Okay, so
Yeah.
now that we know how you got here, how did you get to become a map dev?
It was quite a long process, I'd say, because when I joined, there wasn't a map dev position. It came about, I think, about a year after I joined.
Yeah.
But I think one of the first people, like Electroid or something, because he did a lot of work on um, some map XMLs and loading them and stuff like that. So I think that's how the rank came along. That I was just making maps because I was in a team called Orange Sunglasses Build Team.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a lot of us there, and we just built lots of maps. We had different sort of builders, different skills, and stuff like that. So we started with a few like original maps, so maps that completely created from scratch. And I think one of the first ones was the Hive.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite an old map. It hasn't been loaded. I might load it soon, but it's quite an old map, and it started when Lonely Hornet and the Zana started working on it, and then I saw their thread for feedback, and I thought I'd join them. But yeah, so we were making maps, and then I came out with SuperPRISM, which I made based off a game called Uber Strike. It was one of the levels on that, and I'm not sure where the idea came from, but I just decided to make it. And after that, and doing a couple more maps and helping people with XMLs, I think it's Apple asked me to be a map dev, and yeah, that's how I became one, which was quite exciting at first because you got a lot more responsibility, but it's really fun because you get to you know uh, test new maps with the community and
It's one of the
all that
most
sort of
important
stuff.
jobs too, because if the levels suck, you don't have a community to play.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work. So we've got to make sure the maps work correctly and they're fun and um, that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's good. I like it.
All right, you must be like pretty used to doing these because you like covered like two of my questions with just your one answer.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, what was kind of like the inspiration between for like Super Prism, and you already kind of hit on that. Um,
Yeah.
Now you had collaborators with this map though, so do you mind like telling exactly what your role was and theirs? Make sure everybody gets credited for everything.
Yeah, so there was I think I started with my friend Will, and it was a real life friend, and Frack as well. Um, so because me and Will we played the game for like a few months, and we weren't really hardcore players or anything, but um, we just played here and there. And I found the level Super Prism, and I really liked it. So
Mm-hmm.
I just thought might as well port it over to Minecraft, and yeah. So I started working on the layout with Will. We used like bird's eye views to help us, lay it out and stuff. And then Frack came along and helped us with the scaling and sort of building, sort of design stuff. And then and then I got the orange sunglasses build team to help with other little bits here and there. And yeah, that's how it was made pretty much.
All right, cool. Now I'm gonna have to go AFK so I can look at my questions here, so I'll be dead by the time I get back. Now, one of the things I think is interesting, or the viewers might find interesting, is you're kind of like my nemesis on this site, because you gave me a warning at one point, and it's the only warning
Yeah.
I've ever had on this site. And
Yeah, I feel bad for it now. But...
You feel bad? Like, you shouldn't. I guess I deserved it. I think it was more of a misunderstanding than anything, because it was what happened was, I forget what level it was, but it was one of those levels where you got like bridge a gap, and there's like a cave that's open to the gap underneath, so you can build from the top or the bottom. And the other team was coming across to me, or bridging across, and I started laying down some TNT underneath some wood planks or something, and I was going to blow it up when they got there. But I think you kicked me because you thought I was going to blow up my teammates, and that was not the case. I mentioned in the chat to them that I was not doing, or that I was doing that so they wouldn't get hurt. But yeah. I probably would have kicked me too. I'll be honest. Just in case, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're my official nemesis on this site. So.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. It's just the one at the end, so it isn't really a punishment as such. Just more for, try not to do this again, that sort of stuff. But
yeah. It's not, like I said, I'm not mad about it, but I just think it's. I always pride myself on my perfect record, so I at the time I was a little annoyed, I admit, but now I don't care. So Dust, this is level you mentioned that you wanted to bring up if we could play a second level because it's something you're proud of. What team did you join?
Red.
Red, okay, I'm on red. And why is this level something you're so proud of? I mean, it's a popular level you mentioned.
Yeah.
Is there any other reason?
I'm not quite sure. I think it's the TNT as well, because that wasn't. I don't think that was in any other OCM map. So, I wanted to have like grenades in the map at first, just to add something different rather than having just a normal one-hit kill map. So I wanted the grenades, but at the time they weren't that customizable because it was basically a Ghost Squadron class permission, so you had to have a class in there, and it was a bit quite hacky, and you couldn't really customize it as much. So last username brought out 2 modules. One of them was the TNT customization, so you could change the time and sort of explosion radius and that sort of stuff. And the other one was the disable damage one, which is also important because it allowed you to stop damage to like your teammates or stop damage to yourself. So I'm not sure what went through my mind when I was doing when I had the idea for the TNT, but I thought, why not have the TNT have a really short explosion time, but at the same time not damage teammates or yourself, so you had time to run away and stuff like that. And it was a hit because I didn't know how well it would work, but it was really popular with people. So
it worked really well.
Yeah, I was pleased with that because a lot of people liked it and add something new to the sort of one-hit kill game mode as well. So
yeah. It's pretty cool level. I mean, I don't think I play the one-hit kill levels a lot because I either enjoy them a ton when I'm playing or I hate them a lot when I'm playing. It just depends on how I'm doing. Like if I'm dying, like and immediately die again, just keep dying over and over again, I kind of rage and like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, sometimes I'll play SuperPRISM and I'll just get on a roll and I'll kill like 4 or 5 people in a row and it's, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess it's more of like, for me, I'm overly sensitive about losing and winning to play these levels too much.
I think a lot of people like it because it's fast paced. Because when I'm making a Rage GGM, I want it to be fast paced and I want to get into the gameplay really quick. So with like the speed 2 and the auto respawn, I think that's why a lot of people like it as well. Because in some maps you have to wait like 10 or 20 seconds, like going through the whole map trying to find an enemy. But with Dust, because it's such a small map, or quite small, you can get into the action really quick. So that's probably why a lot of people like it as well, because it's quick, fast-paced games.
That's true. And, sometimes, especially on EU, there's not a lot of people around to play, so a level like this would be really handy for those sort
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm going to have to die again, guys. Gotta go AFK, look at my questions. Something I mentioned with Tim in our last interview was Babylon, that the Ender Pearl fix wasn't actually fixed. So is that something that was taken care of or brought up?
I think so. I'm not quite sure. I think now that the jump pads, you can have an XML, you can use those instead of ender pearls, but I think they've been fixed. I have to double check. I think it was a bug with the kit regions where people just abuse them and get an extra ender pearl.
Yeah.
I have to double check, but I think that was the reason why people were exploiting it. But...
Okay. Now, we played like one of my favorite levels you've done, and then we played this one now, which is something you're proud of. Is there a level that you had nothing to do with, that like, somebody else made that you just really like?
I'm not quite sure, because I don't really play OCN that much. I do play it from time to time, but it's mostly TDM. But I think I quite like Cat's Cradle. I'm not sure why. I think it's just the classes, or and then the hill as well. I think that's a really good map. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. It was my favorite control one.
Yeah, so I think those were the two that I quite liked. Probably my favourites, but I'm not quite sure really. I'm sort of, there are a few sort of little new ideas on my test server, like new game modes and stuff that are really, really fun, but they're not ready for public yet. But I really like King of the Hill, so I think it'd have to be Cat's Cradle as my favourite one.
Okay. Now that game ended, so we could play whichever you want right now.
I've got another one called Hangar.
Okay.
Not sure if you played it before. It's a normal TDM, like really high jump boost. So, but yeah, it was another map from Uberstrike, because most of my maps are from other games, pretty much.
Now, there's another one of the questions I was going to ask is, where do you get most of your inspiration from? So you can just keep checking these off the list before I get to it.
Yeah, it's definitely other games, because I wouldn't say I'm that much of a creative person. Because a lot of the maps, they take a long time to make if you're doing it from scratch, and some people make like 90 maps, like Tim does, and it's crazy how much they can make. But yeah, I like doing it from other games because I'm not sure why. I want people to, experience the gameplay of what other people have made. So they probably never heard of Minecraft, or but yeah, so I like to bring them over to Minecraft and get like new Minecraft players get to know where the map's from. They try out the game from where the maps come from. So
well, yeah. And you said you're not all that creative, you don't think, but it does still take a lot of creativity to like transfer some of these ideas from other games into Minecraft. I mean, that's not an easy task. So don't short yourself there.
Yeah, because a lot if it's come from a different game, you've got to keep in mind like different textures of like for this map, for example, the crates are a lot different on Uberstrike than they are now, so we have to design them differently and add our little Minecraft twist to it. But yeah, I guess it does involve a bit of creativity, but I have made one map or a few that are from scratch. I think I think the one I'm proud of, SuperCube, which is sort of like a sequel to SuperPRISM, but it's a CTF.
Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah, but I don't know why, but I like porting maps from other games. I think it's quite fun to see how other people have designed the maps for their game and see if it works well with Minecraft, pretty much.
Well, I've done something similar. It wasn't like really like a PvP map, but have you ever watched the show? Hello. uh, well, over there it wasn't called American Gladiators. Over there it was just called Gladiators, right? You've seen that?
I've heard of it, and my friend watched it, I think. Um, but it's about some sort of obstacle course, I think.
Yeah, that's
Something like
exactly right. You have all these
yeah,
big muscle-bound guys going up against regular Joes in this obstacle course,
yeah,
and for a while there, I had a lot of fun trying to like recreate those events like in Minecraft, and it's still there. All the stuff that I built, it's on the server I originally built it on. It's on Zach Scott's private server, Scotland. But yeah,
mm,
I thought it was kind of fun to try to recreate those things from wasn't another game, but it was from it was a real life game, I guess.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know what about it is that makes it so fun. But um, yeah, I've sort of just made it from another game. It takes less time, but it's fun at the same time.
I think
So
a lot of it would just be nostalgia. I mean, you had
yeah,
fun playing this game and in different medium for, you know, whatever reason, and you just want to try to recreate it for other people.
yeah.
Okay, what tools do you use when you're making maps? I asked this for everybody, and some of them had
Um,
different answers.
yeah, mostly the usual. So World Edit, sometimes Voxel Sniper,
Hmm.
MC Edit, that sort of stuff. But I use some sort of external tools sometimes as well. So if I was going to make a map from another game, I'd get the bird's eye image and put a grid over it, so
Hmm.
then I can scale it up to Minecraft. So like every square grid equals 2 Minecraft blocks or something like that.
Hmm.
So just helps with shaping the map really. Um, yeah, that's about it, I think. And then playing the game as well, just to get a feel for the map and make sure everything's right, pretty much. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. In terms of feedback, you know, some people, have a hard time handle it, some don't. But what has been one thing that stuck out to you as like, oh, that was awesome feedback that made my day? Is there any like one comment or one thing that happened you can think of?
Um, I don't think it would be one comment, but I guess like just general praise from a lot of people saying, "Oh, this map's fun.
Hmm.
Um, this is my favorite map," which is good because although it's not that helpful to the map maker, it does boost your confidence a bit more and
Yeah.
makes you feel a bit more happier. And so yeah, I like seeing other people enjoy the maps, even though it's not necessarily mine because I ported it over to a different game. But just seeing everyone say, "Oh, I've played this map before," and that sort of stuff is uh, which is quite heartwarming. So, um, yeah, pretty much.
Now, is there like any kind of secrets to any of these levels that we've played that you want to share, like tips or tricks that you think people should be aware of?
For Super Prison, there are a couple of chests with some stuff in, TNT and sort of with blood rage potions that makes you invisible for a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're quite easy to find. For dust, I don't think there aren't really any hidden chests or anything, but there are a lot of sort of uh, little ledges and stuff that you can snipe off.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you just crouch behind a wall when there's a little ledge, you could sit up there and use your bow and arrow to shoot people. So I think that's quite a good tactic that people could do because um, the map came from Counter-Strike, I think, and
You use a lot of cover and stuff in that game, don't
yeah,
you?
like you're tied up in a little ledge and something and just shoot off there. So I think you could definitely do that because I think it really helps your team a lot, and the enemy won't really expect it either. um, but I haven't really put, from what I remember, there aren't really that much secret chests, but there are. If you look around the map, you'll be able to find some little areas that you could use to shoot off of or sort of ambush the enemy, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. In terms of like your map dev duties, like how do you guys decide what map gets added to rotation? Like, is there one person that has like the final say, or is it just collaborative? Most people in the map dev group like this level, so we're going to use it?
Basically, it's sort of our we don't really have a person that we go to discuss, oh, will this map be great or not. If we find something we like the look of, or that we think was going to play really well, we'd take it and test it on our server. And then if it does ending up playing well, then it gets added. But there aren't really there isn't really anyone we go to. It's just more of what we like the look of and what we think will play well. But the problem with that is a lot of people say, oh, my map hasn't been tested, and they get really angry about it, and so that's quite annoying. But
Well, you
but it
can't please
is,
everybody, and I'm sure you guys
yeah,
get so many submissions, it's impossible to test
yeah, we
them
get
all.
tons of them, and a lot of people, I think a lot of people think the submissions form means that oh, your map's going to get added if you post it here, but it's really just a place where you can get sort of private feedback and you know, sort of one-to-one chat with the map dev to talk about how the map could be improved after testing, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's what we, if we find a map we like, then we just test it pretty much. That's about it, really.
Well, not speaking for everybody else, what specifically do you look for when you're looking through other people's maps?
Fun, I think. If it looks fun, then I'll test it. Like, I quite like maps that have lots of different levels and places to go, and sort of futuristic as well. So if you take Block, for example.
That's exactly what I was thinking, and for me it
Like,
doesn't look futuristic, but Wildwood
yeah,
Crevice, I like that because of the different levels.
yeah, there's like lots of places to go, and it's fast paced and that sort of stuff. So I like maps that are sort of indoors and you've got lots of areas to go, and sort of like sort of laser tag arenas or paintball arenas, something like that. I really like the look of, and that's what sort of the first thing I go to. But if I find like a CTW or DTC that I really like, then I go for that as well. So it's just personal opinion, pretty much.
Okay, is there anything that you want to talk about in this interview that I haven't brought up at all? Anything you think people would be interested in?
I think when it comes to map makers giving up, because I think you talked about this in Tim's interview as well, but a lot of people want, if their map doesn't get tested, then after they might just give up or start saying to the map devs that they're not doing their job, that sort of thing. Usually when you're sort of creative type of things, so like if you're making music or something like that, you don't immediately get all the fame and sort of get picked onto a record label, that sort of thing. You have to work for it. So the same applies here. Like, you've got to work for it and keep practicing, and then in the end it will pay off, because someone will see your map and they'll really like it. And yeah, so I mean, sometimes there are sort of maps that if it's your first map and a map dev really likes it, then they'll test it. So it could be, sometimes that happens, but most of the time you've got to work for your to get your map in the repo, because it doesn't come immediately. You have to be patient a bit and work for it. And
yeah, it's like anything else. You can't just expect, immediate like rewards. Sometimes you got to put in some time and effort before it really pays off for you.
Yeah, so that I think that's something that people need to keep in mind when they're making maps. It's not because we're lazy or because we favour moderators more. It's because when we see the map and it's sort of generic or doesn't look like it'll play good, then we won't really test it, and we won't have the time to give feedback either, just because there's so many maps that are being submitted. But we do look at them, and if we like what we see, then we'll test it. But if it doesn't get tested, then just keep trying, and one day you will get your map tested.
All right. Well, I may have be thinking of somebody else, but you make music too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know I talked a little bit about it with Tim and everything. So, what kind of music do you make, and how long have you been doing it?
Um, I make sort of EDM type stuff, mostly house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I started when I was about 14, I think. So about 2 years now. And I use FL Studio, which is I think one of the popular ones for EDM type stuff. But yeah, I've been practicing making music, and I haven't released anything yet because I'm not really happy with it that much. And I haven't really finished it either. Have an idea, and then I'd end up saving it and uh, abandoning it pretty much. But
Hmm.
I think I'm close to releasing a full song, and if I do, then I'll be sure to share it with everyone.
Okay.
But
So
yeah,
do you have anything set up now that you want to promote, like a website or a server that you want people to go to? I mean, aside from obviously, the Overcast Network.
um, not at the moment. I do have a SoundCloud. I haven't put anything up there yet. I have to send you a link. I forgot the username, but yeah, there will definitely be something up on that SoundCloud very soon. So
All right,
I'll
yeah. If you
probably
send me the link, I'll put it in the description, and that way
yeah
when you get your song up there, your first one, then people can go
yeah
check it out.
yeah. I think I'll sort of have an EP of just sort of YouTube video songs, if you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm. Also, you're
what
gonna make yours
YouTubers.
Creative Commons so people can use them.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, just sort of music you use in the background of your videos, that sort of thing. So yeah,
Yes. So many people just like grab music assuming, hey, I can use this.
yeah.
But you
You
got to
have to.
check with the artists, people, and you got to make sure
Yeah,
there's so many different like variations of Creative Commons too. So you just always check.
yeah.
Well, unless you got anything else you'd like to add, I'd just like to thank you for being here and doing the interview. We tried to do this. Oh God, was it 6 months
Yeah,
ago or
a
something? And
couple
we
months
just,
ago. Yeah,
yeah, we just could not get on the same page. It's like if I'd message him and I'd have a few days off, he'd be busy, or it'd be
yeah,
vice versa, or my co-host couldn't be here. Like he's not today because he's in school at the moment. So I'm just
yeah,
glad we were able to finally get it done.
yeah. And I'm thankful for you having me as well. I really wanted to do one of these interviews. So
No, that's no problem. I
yeah,
mean, I enjoy doing these. I like learning about the maps because I play a lot of Overcast networks, so it's fun for me to learn a little. Crap, the game just crashed. There we go. So yeah, it's fun for me to learn this stuff, and I think it's good to have like a discussion amongst the community too. That way, they know the work that the map makers are putting in, the process behind it, so maybe they don't get so upset like you're talking about when their map doesn't
yeah.
get used. So again,
Um,
thanks for being here. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks. I do have one thing.
Yeah.
If you do create a map from like a different game, then I'll probably test it because I like those sort of maps. But yeah, I like to see more maps from different games. I think it's uh, quite fun to have sort of different uh, game designers and then having their maps ported to Minecraft. So yeah, but that's about it really.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to be starting making a new map based on American Gladiators right now, just so Ollie will test it. But thanks again for being here. That'll pretty much conclude our interview right with the map we started on, SuperPRISM. Thanks for, not just being here, but doing your job at Overcast Network. I'm sure you've made a
Thanks.
lot of people's experiences a lot better by
Yeah,
what you do. So,
definitely.
take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. I think this is my fourth mapmaker interview now, and I'd like to do more. I plan on doing more, but I just have to find another mapmaker that I like, and that is also willing to be interviewed. Don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but I do plan on doing more. If you haven't seen it already, about 2 weeks ago I uploaded a Project Aries music video. I strongly recommend that you go check that out. It's one of my videos that I'm most proud of, and I really liked it. So I hope you guys do too. So until next time, goodbye.